What's going on, guys? Back with another video. Hunting season has finally ended, and as you may can see, finally got my boat back. I was getting the motor rebuilt, and long story short, it took about 2 years. So I haven't been out on the lake for 2 years. Well, I've fished a couple times with my dad, but I've probably been out maybe 10 times last year, so kind of new at this fishing thing. Get out here and do a little fishing. So I was excited last night. Stay with us, see if we can't catch us some. Start out with a mega bass crankbait. I think it goes like 10 to 12 foot. Small bait imitator. Guys, we're hooked up. Got out about 25, 26 foot, casting toward the bank, and feels like we have a nice one on. I just turned the GoPro off, and I was like, I'm gonna go find them before I just keep making y'all watch non-fish catching footage. I don't like putting footage out there that ain't good footage, but looks like a pretty nice fish. Like I said, the average size fish is normally about 2 pounds, but this one looks pretty good. I don't have no net, so let's hope he oh yeah. That's a nice one, guys. Probably about a 2 pound spot. That's there he is, guys. Literally, I turn y'all off for 1 minute and catch one. But maybe we got a pattern now. See ya. So that fish come off a Phantom wiggle wart. The Storm wiggle wart, the new one. I do have some old ones, maybe like a couple, but I normally don't throw them unless it's just necessary. But as you can see, the old Storm wiggle wart still catches them. That was weird because I wasn't even near the bottom. I mean, he come up and hit that crawbait probably about 15 foot. Like we're sitting in 30 casting toward the bank. I can reach the bank, and he hit it halfway back to the boat, so I'd say we was probably in 15. So I might have been near the bottom, but there you go. Sorry about the weird angle for the first little bit. Forgot my chest mount, and I've been wanting to mount the GoPro there, and my windshield's frozen over right now, so I couldn't get my pod to stick on there, so I got y'all on a little tripod. But should turn out to be good footage. Y'all should be able to see the whole front of the boat. I hope that wasn't no fluke, because that was that was why we woke up this morning. So they didn't kill every fish in this lake. That's just weird. That one was by itself. These lake are normally these fish are normally shad eaters, but I do catch them cranking natural craw colors on the rocks. Normally that's how you catch the bigger largemouth, just because they don't want to compete with all the spots out here deep. Chasing bait around, stuff like that. That little A-rig I got should be hammering them, but might ease on up. Then we'll come back down this way. So far, got that one fish on a crankbait. We're trolling over to another spot. Got a bunch of rocks. But this cold front must have had them shut down. I don't know. As you can see behind me, looks like it could be snowing in some higher elevations, but it ain't supposed to start till about 7 or 8 tonight. I can see across the lake, and there's a spot. As a kid, I used to go and fish off the bank a lot, and before I had a boat, and even whenever I did have a boat, I get new lures. I just thought, oh, well, I'll just go over and fish off the bank, and I've caught a lot of fish over there. I've seen a lot of people catch fish over there. I mean, they have a dock over there. I was standing there one day, and there was probably, I don't know, 50, 60 fish. You know, I could see probably 15 foot with polarized sunglasses. And 50 or 60 bass just swimming around, spotted bass, largemouth. So I see, looks like there are about 3 or 4 people over there. It could just be my eyes playing tricks on me. We're gonna try this spot real quick and then we'll loop around there, and we'll just troll up in there. That's what's cool. I mean, I used to fish that spot all the time. You fish for 30, 40, 50 minutes, finally catch one. And I was always like, man, if I had a boat over there with the depth finder and could get out where people couldn't cast, you know, you could catch more, catch them faster, and just stay on them, just follow them. It's normally good like where you put in at the ramp over there. And then normally I either go left or right, fish around, and normally you can go from spot to spot from the ramp. If you go left, I normally just cut across, make like a triangle, and then I come out here a little deeper and see if I can't find them deeper. I've caught some right out here, 40 foot. We're sitting in 80 foot right now, but in 40 foot I've caught some on a drop shot. But that's what's cool about the old Trex. I'll turn y'all around so y'all can see it. So I got it set. Hit this little propeller button. It'll keep the propeller running. And then I got the north heading on. And as you can see, my old trolling motor, you could keep it on consistent, but the head would always turn. And you'd be going different ways. This thing stays exactly where you put it. I mean, it's so smooth. We're running almost 2 miles per hour. I don't know what the average for 80 pound is, but so, and we're going into the wind. I've been trying to keep my eyes open for birds. Normally stork birds. Can't remember the name of that one bird, but I see a fish right there. Let me get my drop shot. Let me stick that fish. Got one. Okay, there's quite a bit of fish right there. There's like five fish right there. Spot lock. Yeah. is a lot of spots this size in the lake. I do mean a lot. About a pound. Going back, get that down there, see if we can catch another one. That fish come out of 40. We haven't been fishing 40. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I may should get 40, 30, 40. All I did was let it go down to the bottom, and literally I just hold the rod still until you feel the rod tip load up. I'll work it a little. Now the key is just stay in areas where we've been seeing these fish. Relating to hard bottom. The bottom is super orange on the depth finder, which means hard bottom. Hard to tell what it could be rock. I know it's a lot flat, like probably gravel-like type stuff. I think I need to change up my worm. I like this jackal worm, but I still think they're eating tinier bait just because it's winter time. Right what we call one of them other ones. I got it marked. So now I got my map pulled up and my sonar so I can see exactly where. I can see exactly where I was. Just don't get your line hung up in your trolling motor. That has happened. Especially spot lock on the spot and then the wind blows you a little bit and it kicks on and your line's close. You'll be undoing your head and unwrapping line. Yep, let's try a different worm. They shouldn't look at it that long and not eat. I really think this is a little too big. Japanese bait, Rain's bait, I think that's how they pronounce it. Little bitty shad imitator. Super clear, water's clear. Guarantee we get near one here in a second. It's going to be on. Most time I use like a robo worm, any color. I really like the Morning Dawn, but they are on shad. That was instant, guys. Going right back down to them, new bait. Multiple right here. Whoa. Got one. A lot of times the Chattoog gets all yellow. Just for the simple fact, I mean, there's just a lot bigger spots out there. Most time they're 3.5 full pound. That's why these are just looking orange. They're not really, they fight hard. He is cold. He didn't steal my worms. He's got frames down there. dropping on fish. I went back over where we marked a couple times. I'm just not seeing the fish there. And a lot of them, you know, that one might have been pushing, you know, a pound and a half, 2 pounds. But we're going to stay in this 40-foot zone. Watch the depth finder, stay in the 40-foot zone and see if we can't see anything. If you see any kind of little indentation, I got my down scan on now. So if you see any kind of indentation, like I just seen right there, drop your bait down to it. If you have to, turn your trolling motor in reverse. Just go ahead and drop your bait back there to where it's at. It's clear enough, they'll see it. Pretty cool that downscan too. Kind of see everything. Downscan really shows what you want to do. Pretty cool. This is the lake I learned how to do this on. If you live near the mountains, you can do this on kiwi, Chatoog, Jocassee. You can throw different baits. I mean, we could try an Alabama rig. I just a lot of times you catch one, like right now there's another one right down there with it. So I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I hope y'all can. So you see we're sitting at 39 right now. We've been catching our fish 40, 41. So we're just going to stay over here in 40, 41. Troll up through here. Sun's coming out, so that's good. Got your sonar on your left, down imaging on your right. Sonar, but the down imaging really helps you see fish. So if you see on the sonar, there's 2 fish right there. If you look on the down imaging, you'll see 2 little white streaks. So just drop your bait down. And as you can see, your bait, my bait's at 30. You see that little black dotted line going down. As you can see, the little orange line is like hugging the bottom. And you can see there's a white line over here on this side. That's down imaging. So there's a fish sitting right up off the bottom. So you know your bait's at the very bottom. What I do is just let it fall until you get slack line so you know it's on the bottom. And then you just come up a little bit. And then you just put the hook and you can see the fish. Oh, he come off. I was trying to just drop back down there. As you can see, I had him and he come off right there and went right back to the bottom. So now we're gonna see if we can get his friend. He may come back and get it too. I know he felt the hook though. Oh, so you see I was sitting there working and my bait's in 20. It's my fault. So you see my bait going down, boom, it's right to the fish. So now I'm not really moving the rod much. Every now and then I'll shake it, but it seems like they're wanting it just sitting there. And that's something that I've learned over fishing here a lot. You can try it on your lake. So what I was saying, so you can see my bait right here. I'm coming up off the bottom. There's quite a few. So you hit enter, it waypoints them. So you can go to your map. You can mark them as whatever, but I always just enter. I don't know that that's where I found fish. As you can see, my bait, there's a little dotted line that's going straight to the bottom. And on the down scan on the right side, you see that white line on the bottom. That's a fish moving on the bottom. As you can see, we're at 41, almost 42, and that's where the fish are at. Earlier this morning we was fishing too shallow. We was fishing 15, 10, 20, fishing the breaks, the points. They weren't up there. They were out here. Trying to stay on it so y'all can see. Because this is what made me figure out, okay, this is how them guys do it. You watch them fishing for spotted bass, smallmouth, out deep, and you see them sitting here at their troll motor, and got one. See him coming up? That's him coming up. He's at 20, at 10. Pretty cool. This ain't really a lake you'll go and you'll catch a huge fish, but it is a place you can come and catch numbers, and it's a really good learning lake. I mean, let's see if we can't get him to bite. I think my hook's a little bent. Might be why we missed a couple. Got another one. It's pretty easy, guys. I mean, it ain't super hard. Once you learn it, it'll blow your mind. And as you see right there, we're getting a little bit bigger. About a pound and a half. Golly, he's fat. As you can see, these things are fat. If you see his belly ain't too beat up. He's laying down there. He's on the bottom. Watch him. Watch the screen right there. Throw him back in. Watch where he goes. See that little dotted line? He went straight back to the bottom. What's going on, guys? Fished out here for a couple hours today. Storm's moving in. I think this cold front really had the fish just pushed down tight to the bottom. The biggest fish we caught today, the first spotted bass, come on that little Phantom Storm crankbait. It's got a pretty good rattle to it, almost like a one knocker. I like them in the Phantom colors, especially on clear lakes like this one, or you know, if you're fishing around spotted bass or smallmouth. There's a ton of spotted bass in this lake. I threw that on a 7-foot medium heavy moderate action. It's a cranking rod by Temple Fork Outfitters. I really like that rod. You can fish 5XDs on it. The first couple of fish I ever caught on an S-Waver was actually on that rod, and I think it actually helped me with glide baits, just because throw it out there, see the fish coming up, you know, if you got polarized sunglasses on, you're watching. Fish comes up behind it, and you kind of get ready, almost like a topwater bite. As soon as he eats it, then you give it, you know, you load the rod up. It kind of gives them time to load the tip up so you don't miss as many fish. I mean, I ain't never missed a fish on an S-Waver with that pole. But I'm gonna show you all my setup for drop shotting. This is a Revo X Abu Garcia. It's a 7-foot medium. When we found those fish down in 40 foot, I was using a 1/4 ounce drop shot weight, the small one. This is a 3/16. The 3/16 gets down there way faster. I mean, you could honestly go to a half just to get down there even faster. It don't spook the fish. I do like using the lightest as I can to get away with it, but if you're gonna fish 30, 40, I do 3/16 to a half. And then if you're gonna fish shallow, you know, I was fishing shallow this morning, 10, 15, 20. A 1/4 is perfect. If you're actually working the drop shot, the Robo Worm in Morning Dawn is probably by far my favorite. But this is a new bait that I played with last year. It's by Z-Man, and it just looks like a little shad imitator, and they got it in the Morning Dawn color. It's their Trick Shot Z, and I like that bait anytime I'm fishing around spotted bass, smallmouth. If I was going to fish around largemouth, I'd probably use more of a worm imitator, just because it seems like you have more luck fishing like a Zoom 4-inch finesse or a trick worm. The second thing you see me catch them with was this little bait right here, and as you can see, it is super flimsy. It's pretty cool. It's got like a flat side to it. It's like a half shell, and it's by Jackal. It's called the crosstail shad. It has a little hint of Morning Dawn, but it's mostly like a green pumpkin color. Caught 2 on that. I really like that worm. It's super soft, has that flat side, so literally it'll sit there in the water. And whenever you're dropping these fish super deep, you don't want to move the bait a lot. Like, you feel like you're sitting there shaking it, shaking it, shaking it, they won't even touch it. But if they're sitting on the bottom, just let your bait go all the way to the bottom, bring it up, maybe a foot, and you'll get them to bite. Those spotted bass are picky whenever they're on the bottom. If you can find largemouth on the bottom, they're most likely feeding. Spotted bass, most of the time they're just hugging the bottom, just trying to stay warm. Whenever they get real suspended, you can drop it to the bottom and then bring it up into their face, and most of the time you'll catch them like that. First time I ever drop shotted, you know, with a depth finder, it was tricky, discouraging, and then all of a sudden it was like everything clicked. You could see them actually hit the bait. You definitely want to get you a front depth finder if you're fishing around spotted bass or smallmouth, and it works for largemouth. And then the bait that saved the day, I don't know if y'all can see that, it's real translucent. It's got a little pink and gold. I've always liked that bait. It's called the Bubble Shaker by Rains. And Rains is one of those Japanese style worms. If you're finesse fishing, they have it figured out, because all their worms, just like the Jackal, just like these, when you get them down there to the fish, you don't have to move them a lot. You can almost hold them steady. As you can see, we have a little chop now, so even the more chop you have, the less you got to move the bait, because the waves are sitting down there and the bait's just sitting there in front of them moving. Now if you're hopping it and doing all this stuff and they're not wanting to move fast, they're not going to bite it. But like if you come out here on a summer day where they're active, yeah, you could hop it, they'll chase it, do all kinds of crazy stuff. But first day out on the water since being quarantined, it was an awesome day. I mean, didn't catch a ton of big fish, didn't catch a ton of fish, but did catch them on a drop shot, kind of saved the day. If you're fishing a tournament, you gotta get a limit, go out there, don't be afraid to go out 30, 40 foot. Whenever I come here this morning, I wasn't wanting to go out 30 foot, 40 foot. But, you know, I just kind of kept the boat in 30, 40 foot, and I'd cast to the bank with a moving bait until I found those fish. I can't idle on this lake, but if I could, you can idle around on a bigger lake and you can find the fish before you ever cast. And but with that down imaging, if you see anything that looks like a fish, just drop to them. Sometimes they're sitting so tight to the bottom you can't see them. When you drop your bait down and it's just right above the bottom, you'll see them come up to it and check it out. A lot of those fish that we caught today, they weren't wanting to bite. There wasn't no bait around them. They're just hugging the bottom, just trying to stay out of the wind, stay down there where it's warmer. I hope y'all liked the video. I tried to get as close as I could to the depth finder. Maybe y'all can see what I'm talking about. Maybe it'll help y'all get some confidence fishing out deep. Like I said, the first time I ever fished out deep, you know, it's discouraging, but you've got to get out there in these colder months and figure them out. They're not up on the bank. I hope y'all liked the video. Comment down below if y'all have any questions. I'll try to help you as much as I can. I want y'all to learn just like I'm learning. I'm not the best at out deep. I don't have the best depth finders, but you don't have to have the best just to go out here and catch some fish. A lot of those fish that was out there 40 plus, they don't ever see a lure whenever they're out that deep, especially not here. So if you can find them, most likely they're going to bite. You just got to play with them in this colder weather. Tomorrow it's supposed to snow, so may not be out on the water tomorrow, but maybe Monday or Tuesday we can try it again. We may come here and we may go out to Chattooga and chase some big spots around. So I hope this video helps y'all. See ya.